director at Stanford Inn's Mendocino Center for Living Well. Both Jeff and Sid, who's the next speaker, were on my radio program, Go Vegan Radio with Bob Linden, within the last few weeks. So you can go to the website and hear that interview along with hundreds of other archives, goveganradio.com, where you can make a donation to help us pay for radio airtime. And now I would like to present the author of the important new book here today at the World Veg Festival. Please welcome the author of Approaching the Natural, a Health Manifesto. And he's having an interesting vegan ride, too, from Woody Harrelson to the Stanford Inn. Welcome, Sid Garza-Hillman.
Thank you. Wow, intimate. Can everybody hear me okay? Good. First question I want to ask everybody is, as far as anybody knows, is coffee vegetarian or vegan? It is, right? Then why can't they have them at the Veg Fest? Why is coffee not at the is that not? I don't understand what's going on here. Yeah, that's right. That's what I said. Coffee at the Veg Fest. You heard it here first. My name is Sid Garza-Hillman, and like Bob said, I am the staff nutritionist at the Mendocino Center for Living Well at the Stanford Inn, and also the author of a book called Approaching the Natural, a Health Manifesto. My ride to being vegan has been a kind of a curvy road, and in 1992, as a chronic asthmatic, I was given a book, and my asthma went away. Well, not because of the book, but because of what I did as a result of the book, and that was giving up dairy. And my asthma went away, and it's never been back. My father just turned 75. His asthma is also gone as of 3 years ago, and he's off all prescription medications. So it was then that I realized the power of the food that we put in our bodies or don't put in our bodies, depending on how you look at it. And it wasn't for almost 20 years later that I became a staff nutritionist, a certified nutritionist, and began my trek. I had been an actor and musician and realized that ultimately this was something I really wanted to do, and so I did. I went back to school. My degree is in philosophy from UCLA, and when I became a nutritionist, I married the two subjects together and wrote a book, a philosophy of health book. Basically, my philosophy, and obviously I want to relate it to the Veg Fest because I'm here talking, and I want to basically tie it into what we're all doing here today. The book addresses some big questions, and it is not a nutrition book. There is stuff on nutrition, but it's about the whole picture of the human species. And my philosophy is this, that the closer we get by degrees, and I want to stress that it is by degrees because I know that we're not all going to go back and living in the forest, I hope. But the closer we get by degrees to what's most natural to our species, the more we thrive. And that all the complicated counting and weighing and measuring, all the stuff that we do as human beings that no other species does on this earth. What do we do with food, right? We're aware of how many milligrams of calcium we take, and we're aware of how many protein grams we put in our bodies, and we count how many glasses of water. How many gorillas in the wild count the amount of water they... How many are carrying around an 8-ounce glass so they can measure how many times they put that in their body? How many? Anybody? Humans overthink it. We go crazy about it, and it's not working for us. So part of my inspiration for writing the book was that as a nutritionist, I wasn't getting through to people because I would give them the plan and I would get them going and they wouldn't stick on it. Because life takes over and they're busy, and then next thing you know, they're back to the things that they were doing before, and they're being fed misinformation by a whole host of people, doctors included, that we need dairy for strong bones and we need a lot of protein, neither of which is true. And I'm a parent, I got 3 kids. And if I didn't know what I was talking about, I would be scared to death when I go visit the doctor because he makes it seem like I'm damaging my children because they're 100% plant-based and have always been, except for my wife's breast milk. And yet I'm made to feel like I'm doing some sort of major damage. And if I didn't know better, I probably would go, oh my God, I mean, I guess it doesn't. So another question, how many mammal species in the wild, once they're weaned from their mothers as babies, continue to breastfeed? How many? But humans do. We continue to breastfeed. We're suckling from a cow and a goat. And we think that that's somehow normal because we're told that we need that stuff to thrive. And we don't. We really don't. We don't need to breastfeed past the age of about 2. But to frame it into, what I did is I started to look at the human species as a species. So while it's normal to drink milk, everybody does it, and it's normal to get into a car and drive to work and get out of your car and walk 2 steps and sit in a cubicle all day, that's normal. But as a species, it's not normal. We're meant to move, we're meant to be in the fresh air, we're meant to be in the sun. But look at us. Look at us here. We're in this room and we got fake light, fake air. We've just measured and dried and cooked and manipulated and spiced, and we get on a treadmill and look at a television screen to move our bodies. And the thing is what I'm saying up here isn't that it's a bad thing necessarily. I'm just saying that when we're aware that what's normal for us in modern society doesn't necessarily match up with what's normal for us in nature, that maybe there's a way to bridge the two together a little bit. And maybe, like with my clients, sometimes it's as easy as I might say, can you handle walking out the door to your mailbox? Can you do that? And if they say yes, I go, then just do that, because that's something. And I think the littlest steps, what I argue in the book is that it's all about the little steps, because what we do in the modern world is, what do? We do 21-day cleanses. We do 7-day juice fasts. And we expect our health to turn overnight. And let me tell you something. The health of the human species is what you do before the juice cleanse and what you do after the juice cleanse. That will determine your health, not what you're doing during the juice cleanse. If you eat food that's not appropriate for your body before the cleanse, and then you cleanse, and then afterwards you continue eating food that's not appropriate for your body, that will set your level of health. If you go to boot camp for fun for 6 weeks, but then you're stagnant before and you're stagnant after, that's going to determine your level of health. So what I did with the book is I just said, why don't we, instead of doing something all the way out and then all the way back, and we yo-yo diet and we do all this crazy stuff, and we get a gym membership and we get all the gear, and we get all excited, and then we go for an hour and a half every day for about 7 days, and then we burn out and we stop and we don't do it anymore, and we do that over and over again. We love that. We love the pill. We love the plan. Don't we? Come on, I do too. How many people have an infomercial piece of equipment in their garage? Fine, you're totally lying. You're totally lying. But that's the joke, right? I mean, you buy something, you're like, this is going to do it. How does this relate to vegetarianism and veganism? It does by this. Because everybody in here, whether you're doing it or you're interested in it, is making a conscious choice to live better. To live better. And that's why we're here. We're not here necessarily about the food. Maybe you are, but I don't know. But I think that we're here about the big picture. So I would argue, from my premise of including what's most natural, I don't think it's natural for the human species to destroy its own environment. How many species in the wild destroy their own environment? None. What would be the point of that? But we are, and in large part because of the food that we're putting in our bodies. Food that is not nourishing, not appropriate. I do a podcast and I had to address the whole paleo nutty nut and just be like, what are you taught? Just off the charts nutty, because they're just getting it wrong. And the thing is, what they're getting it wrong about is they're making it a diet. They're making it a diet, like Atkins and all the other crazy stuff that give people the excuse to eat the foods they want to eat and somehow justify it and make them right. If protein, an excess of which would be good for the human species, then we would be the healthiest people in the world, in the United States, because we consume a crap load of protein. We're not a high protein species, everybody. We need protein, and we need fat, and we need carbohydrates, and we need them in balance. We don't got to overthink it. Okay? Where vegan, the word vegan doesn't fit for me, is that white flour is vegan. Potato chips are vegan. White sugar is vegan, but it's not healthy. And it's not appropriate for the human species. And I would argue environmentally, it takes a lot of production to produce those man-made things that we create that are all about calories and very little else. And we need to, I think, to move the species forward is in a way to move the species backwards, to get a little bit closer to our nature and to start thinking about moving our bodies, but not necessarily going from 0 to 60 and doing the whole gym thing that I described, but maybe just walking outside for 1 minute, taking your shoes off and touching the ground for 1 minute. You know, we used to be connected to the earth, right? We didn't always wear rubber-soled shoes. We used to feel the earth. There's actually an electrical thing that happens when we touch the earth. We ground electrically to our bodies. I sound crazy, I know it. I'm a little nutty. But it's the truth. Everyone agrees that sunlight produces vitamin D. Nobody has a problem with that. That's because our bodies are designed to interact with nature. We are adapting to whatever happens. Right now, look at all of us here. We're sitting here. We're listening to me. Lucky you. And our bodies are doing literally trillions of things right now that have nothing to do with us. The you and me here talking people. The bodies are going, I'm going to do the business, and you can either help me do the business or you can hinder me doing the business. If you hinder me, this is the body talking. Sounds like me. Everybody's body sounds like me. If you hinder me doing the business, there will be an effect. If you help me do the business, there will also be an effect. It's hindering or helping. How do we help? Well, we help by putting foods that our bodies understand, can process with minimal stress, that are full of micronutrients, vitamins, minerals, phytochemicals, antioxidants. Processed plants aren't. Meat is not. Dairy is not. Whole plants are. We can put more of those foods in our bodies. This is where paleo gets wrong. If we didn't have access to plants, we would kill an animal. Who here cannot get access to plants? Anybody? It's about what is optimal. I did a radio show in Oregon, and the guy said, somebody called in, they go, well, the reason why we we are successful is because we eat meat, because we're at the top of the food chain. And I go, well, while that may be true, this talk is not about what we can do, because we can digest meat. We can even process dairy, not without stress, but we can. It's about what's optimal. And interestingly, when you include what's optimal dietarily, you're also including what's optimal ethically and what's optimal environmentally. Same package. Same package. The same food that is the best food for your body, fiber, vitamins, minerals, life, beauty, all this amazing stuff, skin health. From the inside, you don't need products when you eat well. I don't even need shampoo. That's how evolved I am. No, it's because I've lost my hair. But in all seriousness, the food that you put in your body nourishes your body. It also nourishes the planet. And another point where paleo gets it wrong. I didn't even know I was going to go paleo here, but I totally am. Paleo goes, nowadays, the diet is, you got to eat meat because we always did. And the meat that we can eat, where did the paleo guys get it? 100,000 years ago. Where did Safeway? They got it at Safeway. They got it in a little styrofoam thing with cellophane on it. Isn't that amazing? I didn't even know. They dug up a site recently and they found Safeway receipts and styrofoam from the beef that the paleo guys were eating. Isn't that I love history. Crazy. And they were eating meat 3 times a day back then. I'm sure of it. Jeff Stanford owns a Stanford. He gets catalogs for cookbooks. There was a paleo cookbook in a catalog. I swear to you, it had fried chicken on the cover. Fried chicken. As if the paleo guys were all shaking and baking, making the thing. What are we doing? I'm a nutritionist. I'll give you all free nutritional advice. Ready? Eat a variety of whole plants. Some cooked, some raw. Variety it up. Don't measure. Don't weigh, don't count, and guess what you can do with that free time? Live your lives. Go have fun. Don't stress out about food, because why I didn't write a nutrition book is because health and happiness aren't just about food. I have met people who eat extremely good diets who are totally unhealthy. You want to know why? Because their relationship to the food isn't healthy. And they're more stressed about the food. The stress that they're causing themselves because of the food is more damaging than the food itself. Charts and books and ways and this and that and the counting and the thing and how much do I get this and I got to make sure I don't eat this right now. I got to eat this later. It's ridiculous. What are we doing here? We are here because we want to live better lives. We are here because we want to make good choices. We are here because we want to raise healthy families. We are here because there's things that we think about that affect the rest of the world. And what you put in your body is the fundamental thing that you can do to affect the rest of the world. Not the only thing, but the fundamental thing. I believe that what you put in your body is the single greatest determining factor of your own health and the health of the planet. I believe that. And I argue that in the book. I really do. Because when you eat plants that are minimally processed, you are environmentally making a good decision. You are ethically making a good decision. I don't think anybody in here, whether you eat meat or dairy, would do to a cow or an animal what is being done to those yourself. You wouldn't. But when we connect to that and we make decisions based on that, then we're in line with our natural tribes. We're in line with our natural. We're not designed to destroy our own environment. We're not designed, I would argue, to kill animals for no reason other than fun. Because nutritionally, there ain't nothing in dairy or meat that you can't get in a better way from Whole Foods. So when you eat goat's milk or cow's milk or whatever milk, it's for fun. Just be honest about that at least. Just own that. Just be like, yeah, I do it for fun. I like the cheese, it's fun. But don't do it because you think it's going to give you bone health. Because I'll tell you what, in the United States, we have the worst bone health in the entire world. United States, worst bone health. Most calcium consumed, worst bone health. Do the math. I haven't eaten animal protein or any animal products in over 10 years. I'm 45 years old. I'm training for a marathon. I'm running better now than I was when I was 25. I have a flat stomach because I count nothing. I pay attention to nothing. Other than what I put in my body, I don't count, measure, weigh, nothing. I move, and if I move a lot, I eat a little more because I'm hungry. But I surround myself with foods that are nourishing, and that's what I do, so that I can do other cool stuff. That's it. It's a very simple model, but we attach to things, and I get it, because I'm totally guilty of the same thing. I've been there. I've done the nut stuff. I've been reading on nutrition for 20 years. And I followed diets and stuff, and it was when I became a nutritionist, I thought this model is fundamentally flawed because we're not designed to diet. There's no animals in the world that diet. When they get sick, they fast. I can sort of see that. You get sick, you don't want to eat. Feed the cold and starve the blah, blah, blah. I don't even remember what that is. Right? What we do, we're smarter than Mother Nature. Who here thinks we're smarter than Mother Nature? Finally, you do? We're not smarter than Mother Nature. She's got it going on. When we get out of the way and we eat the food that she provides for us out of the ground, we're good. When we go, hey, you know what's awesome is lycopene in a tomato? You know what we should do? Take it out of the tomato. And we should put it in a pill. Because I love when stuff's in a pill, because when it's in a pill, then I know how much is in the pill, and I can quantify that. And therefore, because we can quantify everything, we're the healthiest species on the entire earth. Oh, wait. We're not. We're not. And we want to be. And we're causing the most damage on the entire earth. So we can eat the tomato that Mother Nature provides. And we can eat the thousands of plants that Mother Nature provides. And we can create an environmental footprint that is minimal. And we can allow the other species that we share this planet with to live a little better. And I think that we're kind of all on the same page in that regard. I got to look at my watch because they cut me off on time. Anyway, so that's where I'm at. So in my book, I start with nutrition because I do think it's the foundation of health. I go to movement, and I argue again that it's the little steps that count. So what you can do every day to this end, do. And by that I mean, if it is too much for you to walk down the block, and all you can do every day is walk down your hallway, then I would say start there. Because if you start there, then you become a person who exercises. Maybe not enough to lose a bunch of weight, but you become a person who exercises. You build that behavioral foundation from which you can build. Same thing with diet. Sometimes some clients I go, can you just eat a stalk of celery today? And they go, yes, I can eat a stalk of celery today. I go, okay, then good. But what about, no, not what about. Because you've dieted 1,500 times in the last 10 years. You've gained your weight back every single time because you've made it about weight loss instead of about health. And by the way, weight, everybody, is a side effect of health. If you're doing something to lose weight, go on Atkins diet. You'll lose weight on Atkins diet. Anybody? You will lose weight on Atkins diet. It's great for weight loss, and it'll kill you. But if you're just about weight loss, then yeah, go for it. But if you're about health, and that means a healthy relationship to food, and that means a healthy relationship to your planet, it means a state of balance. It means being in a state of balance with yourself, with the food you eat. I have a chapter on socialization. We're tribal in nature. How about all the time we spend measuring and counting and weighing, we spend a little more time with our families or our friends, even if it means Skype, because they live across the country. We don't have the luxury of being with all of our tribes all the time. So use technology in a way that's positive, to reconnect with people that you love in your lives, to have them surrounding you as much as you can. Step by step. Little steps, totally counterintuitive. We don't want that. I'm not anti-Western medicine at all. But Western medicine has spoiled us, because what do we do when we go to a doctor? They give us what? A pill. And if I have a bacterial infection and I go to a doctor and they give me a pill, it's going to work most of the time, like in 3 days. It's phenomenal. Does it make you healthy? No. Does it take care of the bacterial infection? Yes. But what about health? What about that? Is that a 3-day turnaround? Is true health is it a 3-day turnaround? What is true health? Is true health just a healthy body, or is it a healthy mind? And is there really a separation between the two? This is why my book's a philosophy of health, because it could not just be about nutrition, because if it was just about food, I saw people being phenomenally unhealthy on food. And that didn't make me happy. And it's about my happiness. No, but it really is. I think that we're designed to be happy. I really do. I think that all of us are here because we are seeking joy in our lives. At the Stanford Inn, we have a vegan restaurant. We want people to have fun. We don't want people to be vegan because they think it's going to be giving away anything or giving up anything. It is a gift. My God. For you to take care of your body in a way that truly gives you health in mind and body, that is a gift. I don't care. I haven't had a Big Mac in 20 years. I'm not missing actually, I kind of miss a Big Mac. I think we're all friends here, and I can admit. When I go by a McDonald's, I kind of glance sideways. Isn't that weird? I can remember the taste of the Big Mac. And the honey mustard and barbecue on the 6-piece chicken McNugget. Who here knows what I'm talking about? Come on. That's what I'm talking about. I'm going to get kicked off the stage in about 5 seconds. But I really do. I picture the Big Mac. But I don't go, I got to get me one of those because I must need protein. So many people go, I just need the chicken because I just need the protein. I feel like I want chicken because I need protein. Our craving for food, being drawn to foods, when we were in nature, we would really be drawn to food. And we would connect to food and we would eat that food. That's what a gorilla does. But now that we've morphed and salted and sugared and fried, we click off this little pleasure center thing in our brains and our brains go, ding, 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 this is awesome. What did Oreo cookie? That's phenomenal. Where did you find an Oreo cookie plant? That's amazing. I got to get me some of those. And that's why I can't have them in my house, by the way. Numino Oreos, I'm like my wife, I'm like, I got to get those away because I can't control myself because my brain, so this is the thing, we're not designed to diet. We're not designed to constrict. It's totally unnatural for us to constrict. In the wild, we eat until we're full. And if you surround yourself with whole plants, minimally processed, you won't overeat as easily as if you surrounded yourself with processed plants or things like dairy, look up casomorphins. It's an opiate in dairy from the casein, casomorphin. It's literally an opiate effect. And so how are we battling that? We're battling that by, I can't have dairy, I can't have this. make it a positive choice. Surround yourself most of the time with whole plants, minimally processed, and there's no conflict. You eat when you're hungry, and you stop when you're not, and you nourish your body, and your body goes, thank you, now I can do the business. What I say in my classes is, we are asking our bodies to build a house, and we're saying, we're going to give you the wood, but no screws and nails. We're going to give you the wood, but no screws and nails. Go, build a house. The body's like, okay, Mom, I'm just going to, I guess I'll just lean the wood up, and let's hope for the best. Your bodies are trying right now to thrive. As you sit here, your body is trying to thrive. It is assessing the environment, the nutrition you have put in it or not, the air, the warmth, the temperature, everything. And it's making adjustments to do the best it can in that situation. It always will. It's designed to survive. A power that none of us here can even understand. It's a power so strong, it is beyond us. We can either get out of the way, and so here's some screws and nails. Or we can go, I expect you to build the darn house, and I'm not going to give you the nails. I'm going to give you a Twinkie instead, and you just better build that darn house. And I'm going to get mad at you when I get cancer. The body's like, what did you think was going to happen when you gave me white flour and white sugar 3 times a day? And eggs and cheese. What did you think was going to happen? Did you think diabetes wasn't on the radar there? Diabetes isn't the body doing something wrong. It's the body going, more sugar, insulin. I got to throw in more, my God. And then it stops working. Because it's out of balance. It's out of balance. Okay? So, approaching the natural. Start to think about the things that you do in your life. That's a great place to start. Start to think about the choices that you make. And I'm on the track. I'm not there yet. I'm not there. Liking the coffee, and I'm still angry that there's no coffee at the San Francisco Veg Fest. I got to tell you, I got to work through that anger. I don't want to hold on to that. That's stressful. And you want to work through things, and you want to take steps that are comfortable for you, but that open you up. It's a gift, and it's an opening, and it's a paying attention in a way that not to make you feel bad for what you've done, but to say, this is kind of cool. I can be humane. I can be truly environmentally friendly. And I can nourish my body in a way that is totally normal. And the body goes, thank you. My God, I've been waiting for 40 years for you to just give me something besides a Ritz cracker. And the payoff is huge. Because I'll leave you with this. I believe the human species is fundamentally selfish. I believe we are searching joy. I believe we are searching health and nourishment and to thrive. I believe that. I think selfishness has become a bad word because we equate it with what? Greed. But when you're selfish in a way that goes, if I eat this way, it's really good for me, and if I'm healthy and happy, I'm a better parent, so my kids are growing up in a better house, and I'm a better spouse because I'm not unhappy in my body, and I feel good, and I have energy, and I'm in a better mood, because guess what, guys? Food affects mood. Seriously. Ben & Jerry's will make you happy for 5 minutes. A green salad will make you happy for the rest of your life. In a way that is truly selfish. It's like next level selfish. It's not 5 minutes selfish. It's selfish of, what if I take care of myself and not feel guilty about it? Will I be happy? And what if I'm happy? Will I be less stressed at my job? Probably. Will I be a better parent, son, brother, friend? Will the planet be better if I take care of myself? If I truly take care of myself, will the planet be better? Yes, is the answer that I think. The planet is better. Will the other species that I share the planet with be better off if I make choices that truly serve me? Yes. I do. I believe that very seriously. So I'll leave you with that. Something to think about. Take small steps. Approach what's natural to us. Sure, we're all wearing clothes here, thank God, and we've got, we're in the fake light in the air and everything else. But if we just take little steps and walk outside now and then, take a deep breath, move your body when you can, however much you can, include whole plants as much as you possibly can. Maybe that's right now a celery stick. It's okay. It really is okay. And if you can move from there to 2 celery sticks, awesome. And I'm not joking, it's profound. It is profound. And I mention that twice because people go, but it really is, because you can continue to do that for the rest of your life. A diet ends and you're You haven't learned anything about yourself or about true human health in 21 days. You haven't done it. Start the process. Continue on the process. And I'll leave you with that. Are there any questions for anybody? And also, I just wanted a couple quick things. I can be found at transitioningtohealth.net. I have a new podcast called Approaching the Natural podcast out everywhere. That's the book, and I'm the wellness director at the Mendocino Center for Living Well, the Stanford Inn, up there on the coast. So does anybody have any questions or anything? And otherwise, I'll wrap this puppy up, and you can start. Oh yeah, we have like brochures and stuff to take. And 5 copies of my book. Yes? Are we intelligent? Are we intelligent enough? For sure. Do human beings have the brains and intelligence to undo the damage we have done? 100%. Because we have the intelligence to do it. The question is what? Question of will. And it's a question of will, and it's a question of how mindful we are. And that's why I think that it all starts here. And as angry as everybody gets, me too, about what's going on in the world, and as frustrating as it might sound for a guy like me to say, start with you. Start with you. Start with you. Get your ducks in a row. Get your house in order. Get your house in order. When I work with parents, the single most powerful thing for parents to do is to live the example for their kids. Period. Is that like the proverbial cane that just pulled me off the stage? Anyway, we are intelligent enough. Oh, any other questions? Yes. I don't know. But you know what? I think the ride, if we try the turnaround, the ride, it's about the ride. So I think that instead of maybe looking, will we make it, will we not, there is power in the turnaround. And the experience of life in the meantime, even if it all goes to hell, is going to be pretty awesome if we can all just do what we can. I swear. It's totally worth it. There's no downside. There's no downside. Anybody else? Thank you very much. Right.